back once again to howtocookgreatfoods.com. If you haven't already, please click that button and subscribe to our channel. On the menu today, and as you can see right here, we're doing a Middle Eastern stroke Arabic lamb shank stew. Slow cooked lamb shank, you can see they're beautiful, falling off the bone. Loads of different types of vegetables. You can actually use whatever you want. I'm using zucchini, eggplant, carrots and a few other bits. A little bit of spice, absolutely delicious. Takes a little bit of time but well worth it. Let's go and look at some of the things we're going to be using. Okay, let's get started at this stage first. So what we've got here is I've got a lamb shank, I've got some chopped onions, I've got garlic and ginger mix, that's a paste. If you don't have that, you could just be chopping some garlic and ginger. Here I've got our powders, equal parts here of chili, turmeric, and this is black lime. Now this is a ground black lime, you can get it whole if you want, but it's basically, that's it there. You probably find it in a lot of stores. It gives a wonderful flavour. Okay, dried chilli, cardamom, green, I'm using some cinnamon sticks, some black pepper, and there you've got some cloves. What we're going to do is we're going to just brown our meat first, and then get these in, get this really super tender. Okay, so I've got a fairly large pot here, and I've got in there some oil. I'm using olive oil for this, but you could be using something else if you wanted. So we're going to pop in all of our whole seeds or garam masala, so just run through those again. I've got some black pepper in there, cloves, green cardamom, cinnamon and dried chili. If you wanted maybe some cumin seeds or something like that would also be quite nice. And we just want to infuse this oil just for a few seconds. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in our lamb shank, and it goes. So just for about 4 or 5 minutes, just turn this over, get some nice flavours on it and seal it. Obviously it's not going to be anywhere near cooked, but that's the first stage. So flip it over in a couple of minutes. Okay, so as you can see we've got some colour on that, just on the outside there. Now we're going to drop in our onions. We're going to put our garlic and ginger in now. I'm using a garlic ginger paste. Like I say, you could be just chopping it if you want to. We're now going to add some salt. And I'm now going to add those 3 powders. So just again, chili powder, turmeric and ground black lime, equal parts of. So they go in. And now just for like 2 minutes, we're not on a very high heat now, we're kind of on a real sort of just below a medium. Just 2 minutes, let's just get this together, then we can move on to the next step. So what we need to do now we've got a lovely flavours together there. So I'm going to add some water in here. Now you could be using a stock if you wanted. Get our heat right up to max now. Yeah, you could be using a meat or vegetable stock or something like that. I just prefer water. Heat's on really high now. We're going to pop a lid on. Once it reaches boiling point, just turn it down a little bit so it's on a rolling boil. But we're going to let it go for about 20 minutes, just like that. There's no need to stir it or anything. Okay, let's jump in now. Let some steam out. This is looking good, but we are still a long way off. What I'm going to do now is I want to drop in 1 can or 1 tin of plum tomatoes, and then some tomato paste, you know, like a puree. In that goes. I'm going to put another one of those in now. Give that a stir. It's looking lovely. Now if your water's kind of reduced down a bit, just top it up. It's all about kind of keeping the moisture here and boiling this away so our meat gets really tender. So I'm going to add a touch more. Give that a stir, and then we're going to continue again for about another 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the size of your shank. Okay, lid back on. Give it a stir every now and then. So while that's cooking, I'm just going to show you the next step, which is adding our vegetables. Now, you can be adding anything you want. I'm going to be adding carrots, zucchini, bell peppers, fennel, and eggplant. As you can see, I've cut them all quite nice and chunky, but potatoes work, or basically anything you want can go in. So yeah, that's got to get nice and tender. You got to make sure that that meat is kind of, you're really sure about it before you start adding this, otherwise this is just all going to turn to mush. So we'll look at that in about, like I say, another 20-30 minutes, and if it's ready, we'll start adding vegetables. Okay, let's jump in. Just gonna get some steam out here. Okay, this has been going for about 30 minutes now. As you can see, that meat's tendering up really nicely. Now, like I say, don't put any vegetables in unless you're sure this meat is really on its way, you know, like really nearly done. I'm happy with it, so let's start dropping in some veg. In goes my carrots, and like I say, these are super chunky. That fennel, which I really like, gives it a lovely kind of aniseedy flavour. You could, if you want, maybe put in some celery in here, potatoes, mushrooms, anything goes. Let's get in our kusa or zucchini or courgette, whatever you call that. Let's go in with that little bit of bell pepper. I'm using green, but of course you could be adding some other colours. Then we're going to go for our eggplant. Again, really nice and chunky. Let me grab my spoon. Just do some little mix over. Okay, so lid's going to go back on. We're going to keep this on a kind of just below a medium. And for me, I'm going to let that go for about 15 minutes. What you're looking for now is obviously just to get your vegetables tender as you want. 15, 16, 17 minutes, we'll have to keep checking it. So it depends how big and chunky you've cut your vegetables. You can give it a stir every now and then. We're pretty much there now. Okay, off goes the heat. Let's get some steam out. I'm really happy with that. Those vegetables are kind of just where I want them to be. Nice and soft. Now I'm going to be adding some fresh herbs now. I'm going to add 3. You don't have to do all this unless you want to, but I'm going to put in some fresh mint, some cilantro or coriander, whatever you call that, where you come from. And here I've got some lemon thyme. If you can get this, it's amazing. It really has an incredible lemony, zesty kind of flavour to it. But one of these would work if you can't get hold of all 3 of them. Or some parsley would work really nicely. Check it for salt. It's going to be good for me. And there you go. That's done. I hope you enjoy that. We've got a really beautiful lamb shank stew there. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon. Lots of love.